Hello, my name is Ruth Franklin, and my current event is about elderly abuse. This title, CBS News Colorado reported actor James Amos, possible victim of elderly abuse in Colorado, captured my attention because I grew up watching actor James Amos on Good Times. He played the dad in the sitcom, and his character was James Evans. And so this captured my attention, and I began to look at the headlines. And as I began to read and dig a little deeper, I realized the headlines were a bit misleading. Okay, so he was in a hospital here in Memphis, but it was not related to elderly abuse. He did not suffer from physical abuse. Turns out, after reading and reviewing the information, that he was a victim of financial exploitation. And so, where he lives there in Custer County, Colorado, they're investigating because he was taken advantage of. Money was taken from his personal account without his knowledge. And so, again, there is an open investigation to determine if he was the victim of financial exploitation. And so, this got me to thinking about the different types of abuse that elders suffer. It's not just always physical. Elder they suffer from many different types of abuse. It can be physical, but sometimes it can be emotional, sexual, financial, or neglectful. And so, just reading that, I also saw where 1 in 10 elderly people experience abuse each year. And those are just the ones that are reported. Just think about the ones that generally don't report it. Now, um, the Universal Declaration of Human Rights lets us know, Article 5, that we all deserve and have freedom from torture, that no one has the right to torture you, and no one shall be subjected to torture or a cruel, inhumane, or degrading treatment. And that's what elder abuse is classified as. It's degrading treatment. And so also, it could also fall under Article 25 because everyone has a right to an adequate standard of living. And if you read there just a little bit, you can see where it includes whether you are unemployed, sick, disabled, widowed, old age, or lack livelihood in circumstances beyond your control. And so, again, um, elderly abuse is it goes against the very right that we have to an adequate standard of living. Uh, it is a direct violation of human rights in that way. Also, looking here, elderly abuse is generally, uh, it says here that elderly abuse is generally, it's going to happen from the one that is closest to them. It's going to be a caregiver. It can be your adult child. It can be their spouse, but it's generally going to be the one who is in control of their care, the one who they depend on for their day-to-day living. And also, it shows the numbers on the types of abuse. If that's something that you want additional information, you can see there the numbers, how they are. And now, if you are around an elderly person, excuse me, or if you know an elderly person, and there are some physical signs of being abused, like as you can see here, they may have unsanitary living conditions. They're not getting their medicine, or maybe they have unusual weight loss. They're, things of that nature. So those are some of the physical signs of a person who is victim of elderly abuse. And that's a great website, by the way. If you can see that, to learn more, you can visit ncea.acl.gov. I've listed that out a little in the reference, so you can, but feel free to visit that website also. Now, some of the social policies established for the elder abuse, it's the Elder Justice Roadmap is one that was supported by the U.S. Department of Justice, and the Adult Protective Service Agency is another one, and they are there to receive and investigate any allegations of elder abuse. My discussion question is, why do people in society tend to devalue and lack respect for older adults? And what can be done to change the perception of older adults not being valuable contributors to society? I noticed that in our culture that now personally you might value your nana, or you might value your Madeir, but when they go out into the world seems to value youth and put a lot of energy toward upholding youth and things of that nature. But when it comes to older people in our society, I don't see that same value placed on someone who has lived a life and contributed things of that nature. So again, if you do know an older person who is a victim of abuse, please do something. I've included a number in here for you to call, the Adult Protective Service. That number, that 1-800 number is a great number for you to call if you do know someone who is indeed a victim of adult abuse.